Cousin, imagine this. You and your boyfriend been together for 6 years, but lately it's been trouble in paradise. And for the past 2 months, he been coming home with glitter on him. You keep asking him like where the glitter is coming from, and he's like, oh, it must be from a coworker. Oh, it must be from the earth. Like just ridiculous ass reasons on why he got the fucking glitter on him. And how do glitter get on men? From a fucking woman, unless you fucking with her. Oh, okay.
Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really did know you.
So one day, or one night rather, he told you that he was going out with the boys. So you did some crazy bitch shit. You decided to follow him.
And I was looking at your profile and I saw that you wasn't subscribed. I don't know why. If you are loving these stories, you know another one is gonna come right after. So go ahead and Okay. I was just making sure. Let's continue.
You had put like a little Apple tracker in his car and he was unaware, and you ended up following him to his location. Bitch, he was at the strip club. You end up going into the strip club to see the activities that was being done in the strip club. When you went in there, you saw him going to a back with a pretty tall thing. You heard me, Meg the Stallion vibe. Like he was going to a champagne room. You end up sneaking back there to see what he was doing. Why was he fucking the stripper? Why did he end up fucking the stripper? You had no words. You let him complete his motherfucking act, bitch, and you walked out. So you end up calling your best friend. Y'all been best friends for about 15 years. And yes, you called her crying. She like, what's going on, best friend? You end up telling her like, I just saw Trail getting fucked in the strip club by a stripper. She was like, and what the fuck you do? So you like, nothing, I just walked out. She like, you just walked out. What, bitch, what's wrong with you? So you like, girl, I already kind of knew. I ain't really want to cause no scene. She was like, fuck that, what you mean you didn't want to cause a scene? You been with this nigga 6 years and he cheating on you with a hoe from the club. She was like, girl, you are ridiculous. Like, Genesis, you are ridiculous. Like, ain't no motherfucking way I would have just walked up out of there. So you tell her, well, bitch, I did. So she was like, you want to go out? You like, yeah. So boom. You end up going out with your friend. Y'all end up going to a little popular club or whatever, and you end up running into one of your ex-boyfriends while you was there. Now, you was hurt, you was vulnerable, and you was drunk. So you end up leaving with the ex-boyfriend. About a month later, bitch, you end up finding out that you was pregnant. And you honestly wasn't sure if it was your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend. And you end up confiding in your best friend about it. That probably was the wrong motherfucking thing to do. Keep in mind, you never brought up what you end up seeing in the strip club to your boyfriend. However, he was very consistent with his days going to this motherfucking strip club. You just stacked up your money. You stacked up your bread, baby, and before you knew it, you end up having like $25,000 saved up. The boyfriend was really excited to find out that y'all was having a baby because this will also be his first child as well. Y'all start picking out names, y'all picking out cribs. I mean, y'all doing shit before y'all even know the gender of the baby. So one day while your friend was over there when y'all was talking about the baby, he rubbing the stomach, talking to the baby and shit. Keep in mind, your plan is to escape anyway. Your best friend busts out laughing. So your boyfriend like, what's so funny? She was like, oh, nothing. So you look at her like, bitch, what's so funny? So anyway, it was close to your birthday and you didn't have no plans, but to your surprise, your boyfriend had planned you a surprise birthday dinner. Private room, nice upscale restaurant, everybody dressed in coordinating colors, and you know, y'all was having a good time. Your boyfriend started giving a speech about how much he loved you, how much he thankful that you are about to help him welcome his first child in the world, about, you know, how much y'all have been through, about y'all ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of giving a speech of gratitude and love. At this point, you're about 4 months along. So your friend, she been sitting over there drinking and thinking, obviously, because at the end of his speech, she ended up saying that she had a speech. Bitch, why did she blurt out in front of everybody at the fucking table that you wasn't sure who the father of their unborn child was? Got her purse and walked the fuck out. Bitch, what the fuck was that?
Imagine walking in the champagne room at the strip club to see your man fucking a stripper. Then imagine you getting some fucking get back. Not on purpose, bitch, but accidental. You end up sleeping with your ex-boyfriend. Then imagine 4 weeks later, you end up finding out that you was pregnant. Only person you could tell was your best fucking friend. Because you knew she wouldn't judge you. And you didn't think nobody would ever find out. Then imagine that same best friend blurting it out in front of everybody at your fucking birthday dinner. Getting up and walking off as if she ain't did nothing. Bitch, let's talk about it. After your best friend end up blurting out what the fuck she said, you end up getting up to go behind your cousin. Her name Tiny. She end up coming up behind you. She was like, hell no, bitch, you pregnant. You ain't finna go over here by yourself. You end up looking back at least one more time and you see your boyfriend sitting down in his chair looking shocked as fuck. Like, he ain't heard what he just heard, but he know he heard what the fuck he just heard. So you end up blurting out because she a free feet ahead of you. You like, bitch, what the fuck was that? So bitch, she stopped. It was as if she wanted you to catch up. She did. What the fuck was that? She was like, what you mean? What the fuck was that? Why would you say that? I know he's the father of this baby. Like, how you know? When you open up your legs for Derek, you almost ran up on her, but you in a public fucking establishment. She turned around and she kept walking. She ended up after that. And so the fuck did you? So she like, Denise, he a good man. You shouldn't have done that. You need to be honest with him and tell him the truth. Got him excited about a child that might not be his. Bitch, who business is that to fucking judge? She was like, you wrong. You wrong. Your cousin Tanika was like, cause you want me to beat this bitch? So your best friend like, beat who? Woo, woo, woo. So they kind of going back and forth. So Tanika like, I ain't really with all that talking. And my cousin give me the word, I'm on your motherfucking ass. I had to take a little break for just a second to let you know that I make adult treats. If you are a za lover, then you would definitely love my cookies, my brownies, my cereal bars, my brownie jars. I mean, it comes with so much. What I'll do for you, if you're interested, I'm going to put the link to my website down in the description, okay? Okay. Have a good day. Everything get quiet for a minute when one of like the managers, I'm assuming, of the restaurant ended up coming out. So your cousin Tanique was like, you must be fucking him. She was quiet, she ain't say shit, and she ended up just walking off and going towards her car. And you let her. You end up going back into the restaurant. Everybody was still looking shocked and shit, and he ended up pulling you to the side. He was like, what the fuck is she talking about? You like, she ain't talking about nothing. Like, she gotta be talking about something. Why the fuck would she blurt that out in front of everybody, embarrassing us, embarrassing me like that? So you like, we'll talk about this when we get home. He like, do you think one of your cousins can drive you home tonight? You like, you know, what do you mean can one of my cousins drive me home? It's like, yeah, but Denise, I need to go clear my head. Like, I don't even know if I'm coming home tonight. So you like, you know, what you mean? Like, can you just get one of your cousins to bring you home? It's like, I already paid for everybody food. You know, I'm finna roll. And he left. So your cousin Tanika was like, is everything okay? Cause at this point you sitting over there and you crying a little. You pregnant, you on one of your nigga just left your best friend, just blurted some shit out, so you done lost her motherfucking ass too. It was a whole lot of emotions at one motherfucker time. So you tell her no. She was like, well, come on, I'ma drive you home. You can talk about it if you want to. We can sit in silence if you want. We can listen to some music if you want to. Whatever you want to do. So you end up getting in the car, whatever, and for a minute it was silent, and she end up turning on some music to kind of boost up, you know, your mood or what. She know that you love, don't you? I end up making it to your house. She got out the car. She came in there with you. She sat with you for a little bit. She talked to you. You weren't really saying shit. She went in the kitchen, bitch, fixed herself a glass. I'm pretty much just making herself at home. She was like, shit, I could spend the night over here with you if you want me to. I ain't even got the kids. Maybe we could go get some breakfast in the morning or something. He was like, you know what? Yeah, Tony, guy, actually like that. You could sleep in the guest room and we could just get up and go to another broken egg in the morning. Like, shit, okay, bet. Boom. The next morning, you woke up and your man was not there. You called him, he did not answer the phone. You see him a text message, bitch, he did not respond. Now Tanika done woke up and she like, come on, girl, let's go to breakfast. At first she wasn't in the mood. She's like, girl, fuck that, you can eat. She can eat. How you know it's a girl? She can eat. Boom, you and Tanika, y'all, getting y'all brunch or whatever, you end up receiving a phone call. You ain't recognized it, but it told you that it was a jail. So you end up answering. It was your man. He ended up telling you that he got arrested last night, a DUI, and they holding him because he got a warrant that he knew nothing about. So you like, oh my God, I'm happy you okay. I thought you was leaving me. I thought you was leaving. I was like, nah, man, I was gonna come home. You like, I don't know when I'm gonna get up out of here though, but I'm gonna call and update you and let you know. So okay, boom. Y'all end up hanging up the phone and shit. You end up ordering your bread because now you was a little bit more relieved. You really just wanted to make sure that he was okay. You wanted to know where he was because you knew he was fucking lit. You knew he was fucking safe. So let's fast forward a couple days because you ain't heard from him. So now you're getting worried because maybe around like 12 or 1 o'clock you end up getting a phone call from that same. So that's how you knew it was him. He ended up telling you that he gonna be extradited to Atlanta because he had been implicated in an armed robbery. Oh, you do remember that time he went to Atlanta? He ended up asking if you can go and get his stuff. He was at a facility that was like 30 to 45 minutes away from where y'all live. We end up going down to the facility to pick up his property and shit. While you was down there, when you was sitting and waiting, one of your best friend cousin end up coming to sit beside you. She told you that, she was visiting her baby daddy, and shit. So y'all still seeing you still, and they taking for fucking ever to bring some fucking property down. And y'all just got the check. So you got up when they called your name to get his property and shit, and you finna get ready to walk out the door. Helen ended up coming behind you. She was like, can I tell you something? He was like, what's up? He was like, look, I don't know how to say this. Like, Christine is my cousin, but what she did was foul, and I just really feel like I had to say something. So you like, what's up, Ellen? What's going on? He's like, I think Christine was messing with your boyfriend. You said, what? You bust out laughing because what? She was like, I think Christine was messing with your boyfriend. She was like, so one day, me and her was supposed to go out. I ended up coming over there earlier than I was supposed to, and I ended up seeing your boyfriend come out of her apartment. She was like, the reason I remember that there was your boyfriend because I know he got a portrait of you on the side of his arm. So he was like, okay, thank you. He was like, oh, and congratulations, on the new baby. I noticed that you brought. You like, thank you. And you walking off to go back to the car with him. So you driving home whole time, you replaying that conversation in your head because what the fuck? Not Christine, not my nigga, not my what? You end up going home. When you end up going home, you end up taking his property out, all that plastic and shit. And what's amongst the property? His motherfucking phone. You end up putting that bitch on the charger. You knew his password from seeing him putting that shit in the first time. So you open it and you go through it. Bitch, you lying to lost your motherfucking baby when you saw what was in that phone. He was talking to so many different women. He was Kenya, Tamika, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, and Alicia, Teresa, Monica, Karen, Nikki. Bitch, and the list goes on. You going through this phone and you just crying. You stressing and you just crying. Boom. You end up running across a contact that said Chris. And some shit told you to go in. And you listen. So you end up going through Chris' text message. You end up seeing explicit pictures of your best friend that she sent to Rail. Yeah. You going through a message. She's saying that she love him. She's saying that she can't continue to be a secret. She's saying that she tired of being the other woman. Saw her having some pregnancy scares. So much shit in there. You could have lost your baby that fucking evening. You had so much adrenaline rushing through. You grabbed your keys and your purse without thinking and started heading to your fucking best friend house. Bitch, you pulled up. Bitch, you pulled up there. You walked to that motherfucking second and you got to beating on her. I'm talking boom, boom, boom. You would have thought that bitch had a warrant with the FBI. Bitch, you heard her from the inside walking to the, who the fuck beating on my door? Without even looking through the peephole, obviously end up opening up the door. She tried to close. You put your foot right there. So she opened it up. She like, look, you pregnant. I ain't trying to go there with you. She opened that bitch up wide enough for you to get up in. And you was on her ass. She like, Denise, you pregnant. I ain't trying to fight. Like, go on, get up off me. Bitch, on her ass. Forgetting you on her ass. Do you hear me? When you walked in her house, and I'm eating Twizzlers. You end up walking in there and to get on her ass, y'all end up leaving the front door. So when you end up running up in her house, y'all end up leaving the front door open. So somebody must have been walking past. You don't really know. You just know that you felt somebody trying to get you up off her. I was like, oh my God, and you pregnant, and she pregnant, and she pregnant. So you heard them trying to call some other people. Because when I tell you got that bitch in a motherfucking headlock, deadlock, drop, bitch. They end up getting you up off of her. They end up catching her breath. And somebody was like, well, we need to call 911. Kristen was like, she like, no, don't call no police. Don't call no police. We sisters. I mean, this is what we do. We best friends. Now, don't put 911 up in it. You end up leaving. You ain't really had nothing to say. You let your motherfucking fist do the talk. You end up driving to the house. Went into the motherfucking kitchen. Fix yourself some juice. Thought about the next call that you were going to have with Real. Look. It had been about a week since you had heard from Red. It had been about a week since you beat your friend ass. It had been about a week since you ended up finding out that your boyfriend had been sleeping with your best friend after your best friend ended up telling your boyfriend that the baby that you was carrying may not be his. Girl. So it had been about a week and you was at the doctor's office or whatever waiting on your OB to come in the room. You end up receiving a phone call from Atlanta. You automatically assumed that it was because he had told you earlier that he was going to be, transported to the A and shit. Bam. You answered the phone. It was him. You pressed 0. You collected the call. He doing all the talking. He telling you that he just got there within the last couple of days. They had to get him situated, where he was going to be sleeping and stuff like that. He started telling you that he got to go to court in a week, saying that, he was implicated in a crime. He ain't do nothing. They ain't got enough evidence. They got enough evidence to hold your ass and not give you a bond. So I mean, that must be something. So he get quiet and shit. He be like, you know, why you so quiet? You like, oh, I'm at the doctor's office. I'm waiting on the OB to come in and shit. He was like, how baby doing? Baby doing okay? You're not gonna act like what happened in my dinner didn't happen. You're not gonna act like Christine didn't say what she said. We also not gonna act like you was not fucking with her. He got quiet as fuck. He was like, what you talking about, baby? I'm bae now, but you left me at the we not gonna play them type of games. Boom. He like, you know I love you. I never meant for it to happen. Oh, so you admitting to it. Like, man, ain't no need for me to lie. You got my phone over there. I'm knowing you done went through it. I'm knowing there was Linda, Lakeisha, Brenda, Aisha, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, and Felicia. Nigga, you was talking to so many different, like, how could you do me like that? Why the fuck you put my pussy in the mix of what you had going on? We been together for so many years and this how you been moving? People like, damn, you getting on me? And that baby might not even be mine. This baby is yours. Yes, I cheated on. Yes, I slipped up. We wore protection though. So I know who my child's father is. So y'all pretty much going back and forth. But he like, man, I'm already in a fucked up situation. I ain't got time to be going back and forth. A clicker. You hung up the motherfucking phone. Cause okay, me either. Your OB end up walking in, end up telling you that baby was had you sitting there all that time for 10 motherfucking minutes to send you on home. Okay, out. Bitch, you was bent up out of shape about the whole motherfucker situation. You end up calling your mama to see what she was doing. You could hear it in your voice that something was going on with her daughter. She ended up saying, baby, come on over. I ain't doing nothing. You end up going over your mama. She was like, are you okay? And why she asked you that? You just bust out crying. And she walked over there. She just hugged you until you stopped crying. Once you got yourself together, you was able to tell your mama what was going on. You didn't really tell her the full scoop, but you told her the highlights that you felt like she needed to know. She was like, no, that bitch did. No, that nigga did. Oh my God. You fucking love your mama, right? She like, you know, I'm here for you, Dee. You know, you got me. If you want to come back home, you can. You know, you not by yourself. And of course you knew that. Your mama was like your anchor, your ace boom motherfucking coon. You knew she had your back. You end up pulling up back at the house after spending some well-needed time with your mom. And you see Chris, you know, your ex-best friend, she's sitting on your porch, on your little rocking swing or whatever. So you get out the car, what the fuck are you doing in my house? She was like, I just want to talk to you, Dee. I feel like, you know, I ain't really get to tell you what I needed to tell you. I just want to apologize. Like, can we speak? So you tell her like, nah. Like, we ain't got shit to talk. I know what I know. You did what you did. And that's the end. Our friendship is over. We ain't got shit to talk. So she stood up. She like, but we sisters though, like we more than friends. We sisters though. We been friends for too long. We been friends for too long. You ain't said the exact. You fucked my nigga. Like, I'm sorry, Dee. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to happen. I never meant for it to go on there. Like, I'm sorry. It just happened. It was an accident. But you were my best friend. My best friend. I don't got no sisters. You was my best friend. Why would you do me like that? And then she crying. She like, I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry. You weren't like your door about to go in the house. Just constantly saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I never meant for that to happen, Dee. I'm sorry. So you turn around, you know, before going in the house and shit, you like, you ain't sorry, Chris. You sorry that you got caught. That's the only reason why you over here telling me that you sorry. If I would have never found out, you would have never said anything. And that bullshit that you pulled at my motherfucking birthday dinner, on top of that shit, we'll never be friends again, bitch. Get the fuck away from my house. And you closed your door.